Look at people who make a ton of money. CEOs of big companies and big names and entertainers. Who makes the most and who actually deserves it? Every year, Forbes magazine prepares lists of the world's richest people, business people, and entertainers. The stars' paychecks keep rising, says Forbes senior editor Matthew Miller. Who's the highest paid?
J.K. Rowling.
Chapter 1.
She wrote the final book of the Harry Potter series, and it made her $300 million.
Who's second?
Oprah Winfrey. She made $275 million.
Once you do your research, you call them up and say,
Absolutely.
Is this true?
Yes.
And
yes.
what do they say?
Some people will try and talk you up. Actually, I made more. Some people will try and talk you down. Don't believe what you hear. Some people say you're exactly right.
Some get mad, say it's none of your business.
Some people just hang up the phone.
Lots of movie actors are on the richest list. Forbes decided to calculate their ROI, return on investment. How do you calculate that?
You take the dollars that a studio made and you divide it by the paycheck that an actor received.
And from that, Forbes found some actors are better deals for studios than others.
Vince Vaughn and Tobey Maguire actually make about $14 for the studio per picture per $1 that they're paid. So they have very high return on investment. So some stars are actually far more bankable than others.
So Maguire and Vaughn are underpaid.
Yes, even if Tobey Maguire is getting paid $10 to $15 million a picture, plus some points on the back end, he's still worth every penny.
Thanks so much for watching today.
Miller says some stars' brands have become so valuable that they'd make money even if they disappeared.
Martha Stewart's an example where if she went away, her goods would probably still sell for at least a decade.
People don't seem to mind that entertainers make lots of money, maybe because they entertain us, and also we understand what they do. But many people are angry about CEO pay.
They're making too much money. How many millions do you need?
I don't know how some of the CEOs can sleep at night.
They don't deserve it.
Yet some CEOs do deserve it.
Steve Jobs says he's taking a leave, citing more complex health problems.
Steve Jobs created billions in wealth by leading Apple Computer.
The company's stock went down sharply after hours today.
Just because Jobs got sick, Apple's stock is worth billions less.
Billions less, because he's the creative visionary that brought us the iPod, the iPhone, the Macintosh computer, everything that's cool about Apple.
But Forbes also points out that some other CEOs have gotten rich while their companies crashed. Stanley O'Neill of Merrill Lynch was paid $36 million a year. Richard Fuld of Lehman Brothers was paid $70 million. Angelo Mazzillo of Countrywide Financial, $100 million. Paying for failure, Forbes senior editor Neil Weinberg calls it. He blames boards of directors for offering CEOs guarantees of huge salaries regardless of how well they perform. Why do boards give guarantees like that?
Boards give guarantees like this because it's part of an old boys network where they are all mixing in the same social circles, the same professional circles, and this is considered par for the course.
It's an outrage. It's appalling.
Nell Minow of the Corporate Library, which analyzes CEO pay, told Congress what's happened is a disgrace.
I think that when you get paid that much money, you're impervious to shame.
Most of these guys, and most are guys,
Yes.
genuinely believe, I create this much value for the company. I'm worth it.
That's because their boards of directors are yes men who don't say, no, actually that's not true. Let's look at the paperwork. Let's look and see what the returns are.
Market shares in most.
Those directors' meetings are rarely filmed, but Hollywood has long depicted them. Often boards offer CEOs big salaries because the best manager might make everyone rich.
There's a premium on really good business talent.
People say we have to offer them that much money to get the best CEO because so much is at stake.
Yeah, well, that's absurd. Why is it down 10 million?
Carl Icahn has made billions for himself and billions for shareholders by buying into companies and then improving their profits without paying CEOs a king's ransom. You bring in your guy and they do a much better job and work for less. Where do you find these guys? In the cheap CEO website?
There are a lot of good guys around. You have to pay them a decent price. But if
many times more than what the average worker gets.
You have to, but not 700 times. That's insane.
I assume the people on the board aren't stupid. Why are they giving them all this money?
It's like a fraternity. You're doing a good job, fine, no problem, right? You go to these board meetings, everybody is buddy-buddy, everybody's friendly.
And if the business tanks?
You belong in jail!
You criminals!
Why does the CEO still get to keep those millions? Because a deal is a deal, says Dan Mitchell of the Cato Institute.
A contract is a contract, and one of the differences between a civilized society and a banana republic is that the rule of law is enforced.
And sometimes directors pay a CEO millions even when they don't have to. They pay them just to leave. He ran the stock down. Why pay him then?
It's better to pay $20 million to get rid of the person who's losing $1 billion a year than keep them on and have the company keep losing value year after year.
That's our program for tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Elizabeth Vargas.
And I'm John Stossel. And for all of us at 2020 and ABC News, we're in touch, so you be in touch all the time online. And you can also watch full episodes of 2020 now at abcnews.com.
Everything you want to know about the inauguration is just a click away with abcnews.com's Inauguration Guide. Get minute-by-minute details of every event, everything.